Westalian intelligence believes a diplomat's death in Estonia was an assassination by the East's far-right party and plans to send their top agent, Twilight, to gather information and prevent a potential war. Somewhere in the back alley, an investigator provides evidence that the foreign minister wears a toupee. Twilight, disguised as Edgar, takes the pictures and negatives, planning to force the minister to resign. The real person, Edgar, later arrives, revealing that the investigator has been played. Twilight is now disguised as Robert and has dinner with his date Karen, who mentions her father being upset about the toupee pictures being stolen by someone. Karen brings up marriage by observing the couples in the restaurant, but Robert decides he no longer needs her and walks away, discarding his disguise. He reflects on how being a spy has made him abandon normal life in the hopes of marriage. Twilight exchanges newspapers with a mysterious old man at a train station, who gives him a secret message from Wise. The message congratulates him on his last mission and explains his new mission, Operation Strix, which involves infiltrating the leader of the National Unity Party, Donovan Desmond. To get close to him, Twilight must get married and have a child, enroll the child in an elite private school, and attend social gatherings there. The deadline for enrollment is 1 week, and although it shocks Twilight, he accepts the mission for the greater good. Twilight, now disguised as Lloyd Forger, who is a psychiatrist, buys a family apartment in Berlin and goes to an orphanage to adopt a child. The owner suggests Anya, a smart and quiet child, but he warns Lloyd that she is a bit creepy. Lloyd is surprised to find that Anya can read and solve a crossword puzzle, and decides to adopt her, despite her being a bit young. Anya is revealed to be a telepath and gets excited to be with a spy. As they return home, Anya expresses her love for the TV show Spy Wars, and wants to go with Lloyd to get supplies, but later gets lost in a crowd. Lloyd realizes he needs to understand Anya better to have a good relationship with her. During a shopping trip, Anya attempts to buy a Spy Wars poster with a 10-pence coin, but Lloyd explains that it costs 1 dalk. Anya starts crying when Lloyd contemplates getting another child, but he calms her down by buying her peanuts. Anya falls asleep, and Lloyd is feeling confused. He later goes to the library to borrow books on how to raise a child. Lloyd wants to test Anya's intelligence with homework, but she refuses to study. Lloyd leaves her at home, but she tries to follow him, leading him to barricade the door. He meets with Frankie Franklin, who provides him with an application, a ticket for the exam, and an exam copy. Frankie also provides information about Anya from the previous year, when she was adopted 4 times and returned each time. Anya becomes bored and finds Lloyd's spy equipment. She accidentally sends a message to Edgar while pretending to be Twilight. Lloyd returns home to find the front door barricade has been moved, and he is ambushed, but manages to defeat his attackers. He realizes that Anya has been kidnapped and that his identity has been compromised. A man attacks Lloyd from behind. Anya is taken captive by men working for Edgar, who plans to use her as a hostage to force Twilight to steal the foreign minister's toupee. When the kidnappers from the apartment brought Twilight in front of Edgar, they realized that they had captured the wrong person, and that the real Twilight had been disguised as a kidnapper and had escaped with Anya. As they run, Anya begins to cry. Twilight recalls his traumatic past characterized by feeling helpless and crying, and reflects on the fact that he became a spy to create a world where children wouldn't have to go through such experiences. After getting Anya to safety, he returns to confront Edgar and his men, taking them down one by one, using traps holding a gun to Edgar's head. Lloyd reveals himself to be a spy, and threatens to ruin Edgar's daughter's life if he doesn't leave him alone. Lloyd confronts Anya after leaving the building, and Anya explains to Lloyd that she was playing tag with some old guys, but was scared and wants to go home. Lloyd realizes that Anya has been returned multiple times after adoptions, and agrees to take her to a new apartment, because they have seen some snakes in their old apartment. He tells her that she needs to study as he has the answers, and she only needs to remember them. Lloyd waited outside, while Anya started to attend the exam, which seemed difficult. Later, Anya used what she learned from Lloyd to write down answers. After the exam, they see Anya's name on the list of students who passed, which makes Lloyd happy and exhausted, causing him to fall to the ground. Anya received a letter from the mailman, while Lloyd, who had fallen asleep, woke up later. The letter informs Lloyd that the next phase of Anya's admission process is a family interview, and both parents must be present.